Welcome to the Real Estate Entrepreneurs Podcast. Today, I have my friend Carlos Gonzalez, all the way from Tampa, Florida, logging in, and he's going to share a lot of ups and downs and his journey in the world of real estate. How you doing, Carlos?
Good, buddy. Thank you so much for having me on, man. It's a pleasure to sit here and chat with you and hopefully add some value to your audience.
My pleasure, brother. I know you got a lot of value to add. So, um,
We'll do our
before
best.
before we talk real estate, can you tell me about your upbringings? Like, where did you grow up? Did you come from a multi, rich family, or tell me a little bit about that.
No silver spoon here, buddy. I think we couldn't even afford the plastic spoons back when I was a kid. Okay.
So,
No, very, very humble beginnings. Grandparents. My grandfather actually immigrated from Mexico to Chicago. Did it the right way, got his visa, then became a citizen. My mom actually was born in Chicago. I was born in Chicago. But again, very humble. My grandfather was a factory worker, and I kind of lived with them, raised by them. When he retired and moved to Florida, came with him. And I've been in Florida now for about 31 years. So I really do
so,
consider this home.
so what was your grandfather? Why did he move to Florida?
He retired 33 years at Inland Steel, big steel mill up in
Wow.
Chicago, and he just wanted to get away from the cold. That Chicago cold will get a hold of you, and it gets blistering sometimes in the winter.
Right.
And I believe he liked Tampa, he liked Florida before, so he decided to make that transition down here.
Wow. So he raised you basically.
He did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I was raised by my grandparents,
By
which
your grandparents. What happened?
grandfather, just a hardworking man, retired from that and then started a construction company. So believe it or not, when I was in the summers at 11, 12, 13, 14 years old, my summers were working with him. So I got to learn a lot from that man.
So that's how you got exposed to contractors, working, rehabs, painting, things of that nature.
All of it, man. Yeah. Yeah. And not only that, but some really incredible life lessons that I was able to take away from him.
So you started working with your grandpa. You got in construction, and did you graduate high school in Tampa or in Chicago?
Tampa. Yeah. Graduated high school in Tampa.
So you graduated high school in Tampa, and what did you do next?
So I was in a transition period at that point because I was getting ready to go into the military. I was
Okay.
signing up for the Marines, and I always wanted to be in the military police. And then my goal was then transition out and get into law enforcement. However, I was young and I couldn't sign for myself. And my mom said, "Look, I'll make a deal with you. Uh, if you go out and apply for some jobs." And you don't get one, then I'll sign for you, because she needed to sign for me before I was able to go in. Well, I was a little stubborn. I was really, my head was headstrong that I wanted to get into the military. But I said, okay. And I agreed. And I ended up getting a job with HSBC Bank, which I didn't know what that was going to be. But I started there kind of doing welcome calls. They're a big servicing company. Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation, which
Yeah.
is at that time back in 2000, was buying up a ton of service, a lot of mortgages. They were servicing debt and doing all this stuff. So got in entry level and really started to enjoy seeing the back end of mortgage servicing, and started doing well. Ended up meeting a mentor who was one of the directors there, really took a liking to me and helped me kind of move up through collections, loss mitigation, bankruptcy, foreclosure. Truly helped me understand the back end of mortgages. And this I was doing, approving and processing short sales back in 03 and 04, before anybody even knew what short sales were, right? Before they
Right.
became super popular. So that really gave me a lot of experience. Coming out of high school, my mentality shifted. I saw a different perspective and kind of decided to put military at that time a little bit to the on a back seat. And then my banking career started to take off.
Wow. So you never went to the military.
I didn't. I did not. My life changed after that because I realized so much opportunities in the financial field and in the mortgage industry.
And so I guess that took you all the way to 2007, 2008.
Yeah, so '05, me and a good friend of mine, we said, hey, why are we making the money, the bank all this money? Let's start our own mortgage company. And we did. And we saw some incredible success in '05, '06, and then '07 started coming around. And we're like, whoa, what's happening? And '08 obviously was a disaster.
So it's yeah.
Kept our doors open as long as we could, but towards the beginning of '09, man, it was just so bad. I had lost all my properties. Things were just, the market
Let's
crashed.
pause right there real quick. What so because I keep hearing from many investors, right, that were back then investing on having rentals and whatever, and they all have a common denominator, which is I lost all my properties, right?
Yep.
And why is it that you lost properties during a particular time? Like were they underwater? Were you just banking on appreciation and not cash flow? What was the strategy you were using at the time?
All of the above.
Okay.
Listen, we were leveraged and in some cases way over leveraged because the value just fell 50%. But because of the over inventory, you couldn't even find people to rent your houses anymore.
Right.
So I had negative cash flowing assets that were just eating me alive that were worth 50% of what they were, plus not to mention a lot of adjustable rate mortgages. So really started to
Yes.
shoot payments up. Well, what are you going to do when you've got a $5,000 mortgage and nobody can rent it, right? Or nobody
Right.
can afford to rent it anymore. You got to give it back. Hey man, I just can't. I can't sustain these anymore. And it happened like that across the board. In me owning a business and in the mortgage business, that took a severe hit. Income stopped coming in as well. So it was just like a perfect storm of hey, we've got to walk away from certain assets. And then ultimately making the decision to shut the mortgage company down.
Complete. How are you making money now? Once you shut it all down and you're out, because I know what it is to have more month at the end of your money. So you know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
shut down now. You don't have a business anymore, which is what you've been doing for almost 7 or 8 years now.
Yeah.
Is selling mortgages or being around the financial industry, right? With related to banking and mortgages. And now you have some properties that you have to either let it foreclosed or do a deed in lieu of foreclosure, whatever. Um, what do you do to make money at the time?
So we had been blessed before, but it kind of ran through a lot of the capital, kind of reinvesting in the business. So I had a little bit of money left. And I was just really blessed that I knew some investors that were flipping properties throughout the time that I was in the mortgage business. And I was actually doing a lot of the loans for their end clients that were buying their properties.